قُلِ اللَّهُ يُحْيِيكُمْ. Say Allah causes you to live. It's not the passage of time. No, it's Allah who causes you to live. He is the one who gave you life. ثُمَّ يُمِيتُكُمْ. Then He will give you death. ثُمَّ يَجْمَعُكُمْ. And then He will gather all of you. إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ. To the day of judgment. Ila over here gives the meaning of on. So He will gather you on the day of judgment, about which لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. There is no doubt concerning it. Whether you believe in it or you don't. Whether you prepare for it or you don't. There is no doubt about the coming of the day of judgment. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. But most of the people, they don't know. What do they not know? That Allah is the one who gives life, who causes death, and that there is an afterlife. Most of the people are unaware of this reality. وَلِلَّهِ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And to Allah belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth. He is the owner. All of this is not existing by itself. There is someone who owns it, someone who manages it. And He is the one who has created you. And He is the one who's going to bring you to life afterwards as well. وَلِلَّهِ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَيَوْمَ تَقُومُ السَّاعَةُ. And on the day that the hour will establish, يَوْمَئِذٍ. That day, يَخْسَرُ الْمُبْطِلُونَ. The falsifiers, those who follow falsehood, they will suffer loss. Who are the mubtilun? Those who believe in falsehood. That's what they believe in, that's what they follow. Instead of calling the truth, truth, they call the truth, batil. Instead of calling batil, batil, they call the batil, haqq. So such people who have corrupted beliefs, wrong beliefs, such people will suffer great loss on that day. All their lives they have been following falsehood. That's what they have been believing in. And on that day, reality will come forth. They doubted the resurrection. They never believed in it. They never prepared for it. They thought life was just in this dunya. So on that day, يَخْسَرُ الْمُبْطِلُونَ. In Surah Ghafir, ayah 78 also we learn, فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَمْرُ اللَّهِ قُضِيَ بِالْحَقِّ وَخَسِرَ هُنَالِكَ الْمُبْطِلُونَ. That when the command of Allah will come, it will be concluded in truth. And the falsifiers will thereupon lose. Their loss, their suffering will be evident. وَتَرَى. And you will see كُلَّ أُمَّةٍ. Every ummah. You will see every nation. What does it mean by every nation? Every community. The people of every religion. The members of a religion. Whether it's Islam or some other religion. Every single ummah. An ummah of every single messenger. Every single prophet. وَتَرَى كُلَّ أُمَّةٍ جَاثِيَةٍ. Humbled on its knees. Kneeling from fear. Every single nation will be Jathiyah. What does it mean by the word Jathiyah? Jathiyah is from the root letters Jim, Tha, Ya. And it's feminine of the word Jathin. And Jathiyah, feminine, what does it mean? She that kneels. One who is fallen on her knees. Okay, Jathiyah is feminine. And why is it feminine? Because of the word Ummah. Some have said that Jathiyah is also from the root letters Jim, Tha, Waw. Juthu is to kneel on one's knees, to bend down on one's knees, and to sit on the toes. What does it mean by that? Just like you sit in tashahhud. How do you sit? You sit on your knees and also your toes. That your feet are erect behind you, right? And your toes, the toes of your right foot, right? They are standing in a way. But Jathiyah is when a person is sitting on his knees and both his feet are erect behind him, right? So this position, what does it reflect? Humility. Isn't it so? That a person is not able to stand. He is fallen on his knees. He is sitting on his knees. He is humbled. When Jibreel came to the Prophet ﷺ, asking him questions about what Islam is, what Iman is, what Ihsan is, when the Day of Judgment will be, how is he sitting? فَجَعَلَ رُكْبَتَيْهِ عَلَى رُكْبَتَيْهِ. Isn't it? That he put his two knees against the knees of the Prophet ﷺ. He sat in front of him just like we sit in tashahhud, because that is the position of humility. And remember what the Prophet ﷺ said, that Jibreel came to teach you your religion. And part of that is also how to gain knowledge, because the way he would ask questions from the Prophet ﷺ, Sahaba also learned that this is how we should also ask. The way he asked about relevant questions, Sahaba learned what kind of questions to ask the Prophet ﷺ. Right? And the way he sat before the Prophet ﷺ, the way he came, from this hadith, the scholars derive so many lessons with regards to the etiquettes of the student and the teacher. That how the student should be, how Jibreel a.s. came in clean white clothes. Isn't it so? Clean, crisp, fresh. This is how he came. And how he sat in an alert position, in a humble position. Because if a person sits lazily in front of the teacher, if a person sits with arrogance in front of the teacher, if he's distracted, is he able to learn? He's not able to learn. He's not able to focus. So he sat in a humble position as well. And we see that on the Day of Judgment, وَتَرَى كُلَّ أُمَّةٍ جَاثِيَةٍ, every nation will be crouching on their knees, sitting on their knees, defeated before Allah, humbled before Allah. None will be able to stand arrogantly. None will be able to stand mightily. No, everyone will be humbled before Allah. وَتَرَى كُلَّ أُمَّةٍ جَاثِيَةٍ, كُلُّ أُمَّةٍ, every single nation, تُدْعَى إِلَى كِتَابِهَا, it will be called to its book, to its record. Which book is this? It is said that kitab over here is referring to the kitab that was given to their messenger. And تُدْعَى إِلَى كِتَابِهَا, meaning called by the book. That, oh, those who believed in such and such book. Oh, those who followed such and such book. This is one opinion. And others say that kitab over here does not refer to the scripture that was given to that nation, but rather it refers to the record of their deeds. So every nation, كُلُّ أُمَّةٍ تُدْعَى إِلَى كِتَابِهَا, to its record. Because that is what is mentioned in the following ayah as well. Record of their deeds. And thirdly, others have said that kitab over here does not mean book, but rather it means hisab. That kullu ummatin tud'a ila kitabiha, every nation will be called to its account. Meaning for the purpose of account taking. Al-yawma tujzawna ma kuntum ta'malun. Today you will be recompensed for what you used to do. You thought there is no resurrection, no accountability, but today you will be held accountable. You will be recompensed for what you used to do, and you will be judged according to your deeds. هَذَا كِتَابُنَا, this is our record. هَذَا كِتَابُنَا, which kitab does it refer to? The register of deeds, the record of deeds. This is our kitab. يَنْطِقُ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْحَقِّ, it will speak on you, it will speak about you. How? In truth. Why? Because everything that is written in the record is a truth. Of course. Whatever a person did, that has been recorded. Nothing has been left out, nothing has been added. يَنْطِقُ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْحَقِّ, accurately. This record of deeds contains all of your actions, small, great, without addition or deletion. Every single action is present. This is why we learn in Surah Al-Kahf, ayah 49, that the people, when they will see the record, what will they say? يَا وَيْلَتَنَا مَا لِهَذَا الْكِتَابِ لَا يُغَادِرُ صَغِيرَةً وَلَا كَبِيرَةً إِلَّا أَحْصَاهَا. Every single action is recorded. And you see the word يَنْطِقُ. What does nutq mean? To speak. What does it show? That the record, it will speak on that day. It will speak on that day. Actions will be as though replayed. يَنْطِقُ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْحَقِّ. And everything you did, it was being recorded. And now it will be presented before you. إِنَّا كُنَّا نَسْتَنْسِخُ مَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Indeed, we were having transcribed whatever you used to do. When you were busy doing whatever you wanted to, following your desires, you never thought your actions were being recorded. But the fact is that whatever you were doing, it was being written, it was being transcribed. نَسْتَنْسِخُ مَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. What does it mean by نَسْتَنْسِخُ? Noon, Seen, Kha, Naskh. What does Naskh mean? To delete, to abrogate. But when the word is taken to istinsakh, it gives the meaning of insakh. And what does that mean? To transcribe, to copy, to write. Nuskha. What is a nuskha? A piece of writing. A piece of writing, that which is written, and also that which is copied. Okay? So istinsakh is to copy one piece of writing from another piece of writing. Meaning something is written, and you copy it, where? On another piece of paper. For instance, you find something in a book. You like it. So what do? You take another piece of paper and you copy exactly what was written in that book. This is what insakh is. You understand? So what does it mean by this? Inna kunna nastansikhu ma kuntum ta'malun. That as you were doing, as you were performing your actions, your deeds were being written, transcribed. And if you think about it, everything is recorded where? In the Lawhul Mahfuz. Isn't it so? Everything, every action of every person, everything that he's ever done, everything he's ever eaten, every single detail is written in Lawhul Mahfuz. And when people perform the actions, where is that written? In their personal records. So what is written in the Lawhul Mahfuz, people, when they do it, where is it copied to? In their personal records. So, inna kunna nastansikhu ma kuntum ta'malun. And this is, if you think about it, istinsakh in particular is what? When something is written and that is copied. So as you were writing something, our angels were also writing that in your record. Have you ever thought about it? As you're texting someone, as you're typing something. You're typing at your desktop, at your laptop. You're texting on your phone, but as you're texting, as you're writing, where is it being written? In the record of your deeds. You're texting, you're writing, nobody knows. That's what you think. Nobody can see me. But in reality, the angels are copying verbatim, not leaving anything out. Istinsakh is exactly what was written, you copy it as it was, without leaving any detail. Inna kunna nastansikhu ma kuntum ta'malun. So when we're writing, when we're texting, when we're doing, when we're chatting, when we're posting, what should we think? What should we think? It's being recorded. Somebody's making an exact copy of this. You're never alone. No action of ours is ignored. Every single action is recorded. Ma kuntum ta'malun. What does ma mean? Whatever, every single thing that you were doing, it's being written. So a person may do whatever pleases him in this dunya, but he should remember that everything he does, everything he says, everything he writes is being recorded, and he will be recompensed for it. He will be held accountable for it. He will be questioned about it. And what do we think? That small deeds? Doesn't matter. Who cares? So what if I text something useless? So what if I write something that may offend the other person, may hurt the other person, may be incorrect? That's what we think, right? This is why we go on writing whatever we want to. We go on passing comments whatever we feel like. We're not conscious over there because we think that these little actions don't matter. But what do we learn from the hadith? That small deeds are enough to destroy a person, because small deeds, what are they like? Like pieces of wood that have been collected together. And when you collect them together, one piece from there, one piece from here, little pieces, eventually they are enough to light a huge fire. And a huge fire is enough to destroy a person. Think about it. One ghiba a day, one lie a day. Only one a day. But if you accumulate it over a period of time, does it not add up? It adds up to a lot. So many times we belittle little things thinking it doesn't matter. But it does matter, because inna kunna nastansikhu ma kuntum ta'malun. Whatever you were doing, we were having it copied. We were having it written. فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. So as for those people who believe, وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and they also do righteous deeds, فَيُدْخِلُهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ فِي رَحْمَتِهِ. So their Lord will admit them into His mercy. ذَلِكَ هُوَ الْفَوْزُ الْمُبِينَ. That is clearly success. That is the evident success. There is no doubt about this success. It's clear, evident achievement, success. And on the other hand, وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, and as for those who disbelieved, it will be said to them, أَفَلَمْ تَكُنْ آيَاتِ تُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ, were not our verses recited to you? Our verses, were they not recited to you? Were you not informed about them? Were you not warned? فَاسْتَكْبَرْتُمْ, but you were arrogant. وَكُنْتُمْ قَوْمًا مُجْرِمِينَ, and you became a people of criminals. What does it mean by this? That فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, those who are in a big problem on the Day of Judgment, it's not because they were ignorant. It's not because they didn't know. أَفَلَمْ تَكُنْ آيَاتِ تُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ, you were informed. But what was your reaction? فَاسْتَكْبَرْتُمْ, you were arrogant. This is pride, right? That when a person is informed, and he doesn't change his ways. He doesn't take the advice. We belittle reminders sometimes just because someone is telling us. This is pride. Somebody is reminding us with the ayat of Allah, and we say, mind your own business. This is pride. You know, many times people say that, don't tell me, I'll do it myself. Don't tell me. If you tell me, I'm not going to listen. Just because you're telling me, I'm not going to do it. I will do it anyway, but you don't tell me. What is this? What is this? It's pride. فَاسْتَكْبَرْتُمْ أَفَلَمْ تَكُنْ آيَاتِ تُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ فَاسْتَكْبَرْتُمْ. A humble person doesn't look at who is telling him. What does he look at? What is being told. What is being told. He doesn't see, okay, why is she telling me? And why is he telling me? No, he looks at what is being said. Because istikbar, what is istikbar? Don't tell me. فَاسْتَكْبَرْتُمْ وَكُنْتُمْ قَوْمًا مُجْرِمِينَ. And then you kept on doing whatever you wanted to. You were criminal people. I'm accountable for my actions. You mind your own business. You don't tell me. If you think about it, somebody is telling you, what does it show? They care for you. They're concerned for you. That Umar radiallahu anhu, how he wrote that letter to his friend, the beginning ayat of Surah Ghafir, and that was enough to remind him. And imagine if somebody else reminds us with the ayat of Allah, we get enraged. How dare you say I'm doing something wrong? How dare you point out my mistake? Do you not see your own mistakes? How dare you tell me? Do you do this yourself? Umar radiallahu anhu, whenever he was reminded of the ayah of the Qur'an, he would become humble over there. He would stop there. But unfortunately, we are reminded by one ayah after the other, but it's as though we haven't heard. وَكُنْتُمْ قَوْمًا مُجْرِمِينَ وَإِذَا قِيلَ إِنَّ وَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقٌّ, and when it was said, indeed the promise of Allah is truth. وَالسَّاعَةُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهَا, and the hour is coming, there is no doubt about it. قُلْتُمْ, you said, مَا نَدْرِي مَا السَّاعَةُ, we do not know what the hour is. We don't acknowledge it. I don't believe in it. مَا نَدْرِي مَا السَّاعَةُ, we don't know what it is. إِن نَظُنُّ إِلَّا ظَنَّا, we assume only assumption. Meaning with regards to the Day of Judgment, we only assume. Meaning we don't believe with conviction. وَمَا نَحْنُ بِمُسْتَيْقِنِينَ, and we are not at all convinced. مُسْتَيْقِنِينَ, مُسْتَيْقِن, this is from istayqana, from yaqeen. What does yaqeen mean? Conviction, certainty, right? And conviction, yaqeen, this is the opposite of shak. Shak is when a person is doubtful. And what does shak create? Restlessness. Is it true? Is it not true? And yaqeen, on the other hand, is certainty, conviction, which gives contentment, satisfaction to a person. Meaning he's satisfied with it. He's content with it. He's not restless. But he has accepted it. So yaqeen gives sukoon, and shak, what does that cause? Restlessness. So they said, وَمَا نَحْنُ بِمُسْتَيْقِنِينَ, we are not at all convinced about the Day of Judgment, that it will come to pass. They couldn't believe in it. And we see that the root cause for many crimes is the weakness of faith in the akhirah. Because if a person believes in the akhirah with conviction, not dhann, not shak, but with yaqeen, then it will change his way. It will change his actions. It will change how he listens to the advice of others. وَبَدَى لَهُمْ سَيِّئَاتُ مَا عَمِلُوا. When a person does not have conviction in the hereafter, he ends up doing many wrong things. And then, وَبَدَى لَهُمْ سَيِّئَاتُ مَا عَمِلُوا. And the evil consequences of what they did will appear to them. When? In the hereafter. The evil consequences of whatever they did will appear to them, will become manifest to them. وَحَاقَ بِهِمْ مَا كَانُوا بِهِ يَسْتَهْزِئُونَ. And that which they used to mock at, that will encircle them. They will be surrounded by it. What is it that they mocked at? Punishment. So that same punishment is going to encircle them, surround them, and they will not be able to escape. وَقِيلَ. And it will be said, الْيَوْمَ نَنْسَاكُمْ. Today we will forget you. كَمَا نَسِيتُمْ لِقَاءَ يَوْمِكُمْ هَذَا. Just as you forgot the meeting of this day of yours. We'll forget you. Who's saying this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. كَمَا نَسِيتُمْ لِقَاءَ يَوْمِكُمْ هَذَا. Just as you forgot the meeting of this day of yours. You forgot the akhirah, and we will forget you in the fire today. What does it mean by this, that we will forget you? That we won't care for you. You call, you don't call. You pray, you don't pray. You're in distress, or you're indifferent. It doesn't make a difference to Allah. Allah will not respond to you. He will not change your condition for you. You see, in this dunya, even if there's a disbeliever, a person who doesn't believe, when he is in pain, when he is in difficulty, he calls upon Allah. Allah, He shows mercy to him. Isn't it so? So many people, when they're in pain, when they're in difficulty, and they're very restless, they call upon Allah. Allah removes their difficulty from them. But in the hereafter, in hellfire, وَقِيلَ الْيَوْمَ نَنْسَاكُمْ. We'll forget you. We won't care about you. Why? كَمَا نَسِيتُمْ لِقَاءَ يَوْمِكُمْ هَذَا. Just as you forgot the meeting of this day of yours. You were oblivious to the akhirah, and we will become oblivious to you. You didn't care for the akhirah, we won't care for you. In the dunya, what happens? If there is ever a criminal, or someone who is innocent, but criminal or innocent, whatever the case is, if they are being tortured, if they are imprisoned for many, many years, and many injustices are being committed against them, over some time what happens? People forget. Initially they remember, but after some time, after the passage of a few years, people forget. They move on with their lives. Right? But there are always some NGOs or some human rights activists who constantly remind people, don't forget so and so. Isn't it so? You've forgotten. You're not that concerned about what's going on. And all of a sudden you'll read an article. All of a sudden you'll come across something that some human rights activist has posted somewhere. But in the hereafter, when people are in the punishment, نَنْسَاكُمْ. No one is going to struggle for their freedom. No one is going to care for them. الْيَوْمَ نَنْسَاكُمْ كَمَا نَسِيتُمْ لِقَاءَ يَوْمِكُمْ هَذَا وَمَأْوَاكُمُ النَّارِ. And your abode is a fire. وَمَا لَكُمْ مِن نَاصِرِينَ. And you will have no helpers, no one to help you, no one to care for you. Why? ذَلِكُمْ. That for you is why? بِأَنَّكُمْ. Because indeed you اتَّخَذْتُمْ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ هُزُوًا. You took the verses of Allah in ridicule. Instead of taking them seriously, you mocked at them. Instead of getting affected by them, you belittled them. Instead of accepting them, you rejected them. وَغَرَّتْكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. And what's the reason behind that? That the life of this world deceived you. It deluded you. What's the deception of the life of this world? The person who has wealth, he thinks his wealth will help him. The person who has friends, he thinks his friends are sufficient for him. Right? So the life of this world has deceived you. It deceived you. And you thought, no problem, do whatever you want. فَالْيَوْمَ لَا يُخْرَجُونَ مِنْهَا. So today, they will not be removed from it. From what? From the punishment. وَلَا هُمْ يُسْتَعْتَبُونَ. And they will not be allowed to appease. يُسْتَعْتَبُونَ, isti'tab, what does it mean? To try to remove anger. How? By apologizing. By saying some good words. So وَلَا هُمْ يُسْتَعْتَبُونَ, they will not be allowed to say sorry even. They will not be allowed to even apologize, to appease Allah. No. وَلَا هُمْ يُسْتَعْتَبُونَ. And you see, this deception that is mentioned over here, وَغَرَّتْكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا, that enjoy, doesn't matter. No consequences. Life is long. وَغَرَّتْكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. And because of this deception, a person ends up doing many wrong things. But in the hereafter, they won't be allowed to even apologize for the wrong they have done. In Surah Al-Zukhruf 77, وَنَادَوْا يَا مَالِكُ لِيَقْضِ عَلَيْنَا رَبُّكَ قَالَ إِنَّكُمْ مَاكِثُونَ وَلَا هُمْ يُسْتَعْتَبُونَ. فَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدِ. Then to Allah belongs all praise. فَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدِ. To Allah belongs all praise. What is hamd? The attribution of what is beautiful. Right? To describe in beautiful terms. So Allah, how do we describe Him? In the most beautiful terms. فَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدِ. Who is He? رَبِّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَرَبِّ الْأَرْضِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. The Lord of the heavens and the Lord of the earth, Lord of the worlds. He is the owner and the owner of all that is in them and on them. رَبِّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَرَبِّ الْأَرْضِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. And this is the first lesson that we learn in the Qur'an. That Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And because He is the Lord of the Alameen, وَلَهُ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ. And to Him belongs all grandeur, all greatness, all majesty. Where? فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Within the heavens and also in the earth. What is kibriya? Kibriya is from kaf, ba, ra. And kibriya is al-azamah wal-mulk. Greatness, majesty, and also mulk. What does mulk mean? Sovereignty. So greatness, majesty, as well as sovereignty. What do we read in sajda, in ruku'? Subhana dil jabarut wal malakut wal kibriyai wal azamah. Kibriya is to have greatness over everyone. To have sovereignty above everyone. To be above any kind of obedience. You understand? That Allah has all kibriya, so He does not need to obey anyone. He's not under anyone in any way. Everyone else, no matter what heights they achieve, no matter what greatness they achieve, after all, in some way or the other, they are under the obedience of someone. A person may be the president, but when it comes to his wife, he has to listen to her. A person may be the boss at his work, but when it comes to his mother, he can't say no to her. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He alone has kibriya. He alone has supreme greatness and majesty. That above Him is no one. He has greatness over everyone. He's above any kind of obedience. وَلَهُ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. In the heavens and also in the earth. This is why we learn in the Qur'an, Surah Al-Zukhruf 84, وَهُوَ الَّذِي فِي السَّمَاءِ إِلَهٌ وَفِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَهٌ. That He is God in the skies and also in the earth. He is worthy of worship up there and also here. Everywhere. وَلَهُ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَفِي الْأَرْضِ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. In Surah Al-Rum, ayah 27, وَلَهُ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. To Him belongs the highest attribute, highest description in the heavens and in the earth. وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. As it's mentioned over here as well. That Allah, He is the mighty and He is also the wise. So at the end of the surah, a very strong message is being given. To who? To all those who learn the Qur'an, listen to the Qur'an, come to know of something from the Qur'an, who are informed of the ayat of the Qur'an. What? That they should save themselves from pride and arrogance. And especially the pride of knowledge. Because all greatness, supreme greatness, authority, sovereignty, who deserves it? Allah alone. وَلَهُ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And if a person has any kind of pride, any kind of arrogance, it doesn't befit him. Because who are we? وَتَرَى كُلَّ أُمَّةٍ جَاثِيَةٍ. We are nothing before Allah. We are small before Allah. And if we don't show humility today, we are going to be humbled tomorrow anyway. No one can stand against Allah, stand mightily before Him. And we learn that the surah, it begins with the names of Allah, Al-Aziz, Al-Hakim. Isn't it? And it also concludes with Al-Aziz, Al-Hakim. So real greatness, real might, real power, real majesty, it belongs to who? Allah. Therefore, it is incumbent, it is mandatory on each and every single person that he should humble himself before his Lord. Because وَلَهُ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And showing humility to Allah, what does it mean? Accepting what He's saying. Not that a person continues to follow his desire. No. He controls his desire. He suppresses his desire when it comes to the command of Allah. When it comes to His command, a person does not listen to his desire. He stops over there. And if a person thinks, I don't need to do this, I don't need to follow, I don't need to obey, I can do whatever I want to, then he is deluded. وَغَرَّتْكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. Life of this world has deluded him. Because this life is not forever. You follow your desires, eventually your life will come to an end. Eventually you'll finish. This dunya is not eternal. The Prophet ﷺ said, Allah says, الْعَظَمَةُ إِزَارِي وَالْكِبْرِيَاءُ رِدَائِي فَمَنْ نَازَعَنِي وَاحِدًا مِّنْهُمَا أَسْكَنْتُهُ نَارِي. That Allah says, glory is my robe and pride is my garment. Glory, al-azama, is my robe, and kibriya, that is my garment. Whoever rivals me for either of them, whoever tries to take even one of them, tries to be mighty, tries to be great, tries to stand arrogantly before Allah, askantuhu nari, I will make him reside in my fire. That's where he will end up. Recitation. We listen to the recitation of the last two verses.
فَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدُ رَبِّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَرَبِّ الْأَرْضِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ وَلَهُ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ.
فَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدُ رَبِّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَرَبِّ الْأَرْضِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ وَلَهُ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ.
فَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدُ رَبِّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَرَبِّ الْأَرْضِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ وَلَهُ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ.
فَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدُ رَبِّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَرَبِّ الْأَرْضِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ وَلَهُ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.